Hi everybody, how are you? My name is Shelby. Welcome back to Little Literary Love. Hope y'all are doing good. So today we're going to be doing my summer TBR. So this is going to be different from my June TBR, which I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to post that before or after this one. We'll see. Who knows? But all of the books that I talk about on my June TBR are going to be different from this one. Since I did my spring TBR back in springtime, I wanted to do that for this season as well. So for the most part, all the books on this TBR are either books that are coming out this summer or just give me like summery vibes. I don't know how you all are, but sometimes like books, if they take place in summer or they have like colors that just remind me of like the season, sometimes I tend to like hold off on reading those books until that season comes, and then I read them just because they just give me the vibes of the season. So we're to the summer, which summer is my favorite season because June is my birth month. June is when my daughter is born. I love summer. I love being outside in the summer. I don't like the heat of summer, but my parents have a pool. I love swimming. I love all the food, like the fruits and vegetables that come out in summer. Summer is just like my favorite time of the year. So I'm going to be talking about all of the books that give me those summer vibes. I'm hoping at some point I can get to them. Probably not going to be in June because my June TBR is pretty full. And like I said, none of these books are going to be the same for my June TBR. But hopefully, you know, I've got a little bit longer. I can maybe get to these in like July or August or right before fall comes around in September. And hopefully I can read all of these. So in no particular order for any of these, the first one that I have here is Simmer Down by Sarah Smith. Honestly, the cover gives me summer vibes with like the reds and the blue. I don't know much about this. I'm pretty sure this is about like rival food truck owners. That's all I know. So I'm excited to see what this is about and read it this summer. Then we have You Had Me at Hola. I've been wanting to read this forever. And Alexis Daria has a new book that's coming out. I can't remember when. I think it's around the end of summer. I think. I could be wrong. I know this is like I think actors maybe in a telenovela and their romance. I'm dying to read this. I want to read this so bad. I love this cover. This cover just like screams summer to me. Yeah, I'm really excited. I needed to get this one. Then we have Beach Read by Emily Henry. Yes, I still have not read this one. This is about two different like writers, like authors. And they go to this like beach house, like their beach houses are next to each other. And I don't think they really get along, but they're both going through some like writer's block. So they decide to like switch genres. Like I think she usually writes like either romance or like literary fiction. And then I'm not 100% sure what he writes. Yeah, I don't know. Mystery maybe? I could be making that up. So then it's about their romance. So this was actually on my TBR for the year of books that I want to get to. So I'm excited to get to this. And then along with that one, Emily Henry's new book like recently came out, The People You Meet on Vacation, which also gives me summer vibes. So I really want to get to that one. I think this one is about like friends that have been friends for a while. I don't know. It's been a long time since I read the synopsis, but I do remember when I read the synopsis, it gave me When Harry Met Sally vibes. So if it's like that movie, I'm probably going to like it because I really like that movie. So I'm excited to get that one. Then I would like to reread Serpent. I've already read this one, and then read Blood and Honey, because the third book in this series, Gods and Monsters, I think is what it's called, comes out in July or August. So I need to read these because I don't remember a ton of what happened. So I want to reread it so I can read this and read the new one that's coming out. And these are my sprayed edges. They're really pretty. So I'm excited about that. Then I want to read It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. This comes out in July. This was on my most anticipated releases of the year video. I love Tessa Bailey. This is not my only Tessa Bailey book on this list. I think I've got like 3 or 4 Tessa Bailey books. I really like Tessa Bailey's writing. She's one of my favorite authors. It has summer in the title, so it's gonna be a great summer read. I think this is about this girl gets sent to this small town. Her father wants to like teach her like responsibility and have her like work at this restaurant or something. So she's in this town, and then there's like this guy who is a fisherman, I think. And it's their romance. So that's basically all I know about it. I don't really want to know too much more, and I don't really need to know too much more because I love Tessa Bailey, so I'm excited about that. Then I need to read One Hot Italian Summer by Karina, Halle. Again, summer is in the title, so I thought this would be a perfect summer read. I know this is about this girl. I think she's like vacationing in Italy, and she has a romance with this guy, and I think he's a single dad. So I'm also a pretty big fan of Karina Halle's writing. I like a lot of her books, so I'm excited to get to this one. Then we have Rush by Kandi Steiner. This is an older book of hers. This has been out for a while, but the cover just gives me summer vibes. I know this is part of her, what is it, like Palm South University? I heard this is basically like a college Greek life kind of series. There's a lot of drama and angst, and I haven't read any Kandi Steiner books, so I thought maybe I could get to this one. I know Jess from Peace Love Books really loves this series, and I think Kandi actually has a new book coming out in this series like later in the summer, so I thought it would be a good idea to kind of catch up, maybe see if I like this series. So I thought I'd start with that one. Then I'm going to do Lovewrecked. I'd like to get to this one, which is another one that I'm pretty sure it takes place like on a beach. The cover gives me a little bit of summer vibes. It's more like sunset kind of summer vibes. This is also by Karina Halle. Honestly, have no idea what this one is about, but I like Karina Halle. I had heard some good things about it, even though I don't know what it's about. So I thought I'd try that one out. So the only thing, these will kind of overlap with my June TBR, but I have The Wallflowers, The Hathaways, and the Ravenel series by Lisa Kleypas. This is just going to be an ongoing thing until I can finish all 3 of these series up, because the newest book in the Ravenel series by Lisa Kleypas comes out in like July, August, I think. So I want to try to get through all of those books so I can understand what's going on in the latest Ravenel's book. So I want to do that, which I did mention in my June TBR. Okay, so then I have a couple more Tessa Bailey. So I have Beach Kingdom by Tessa Bailey. This is a book series. I don't really know what they're about. I know they're on a beach. All the covers show them being on beaches. I heard some good things about them. I know one of them is like a male-male romance, which is one of her only male-male romances that she's written. And I'm excited to see Tessa Bailey's take on it, but then also it's like, it looks like summer to me. So I really want to read those. And then I also want to get to her Phenomenal Fate series, which is a paranormal romance series, and I think it has vampires in it, which I'm a sucker for a good vampire paranormal romance. If it says romance and vampires, and if it's by one of my favorite authors, I'm in. I can't wait to read these. And they've been out for a while, so I really need to get to them. I recently read Culty by Mariana Zapata, and I loved it. I was so surprised by how much I loved this book. So I really want to get to more books from her. So I've heard The Wall of Winnipeg and Me is one of her also like best well-known books. And it's about like football. I think it's maybe A Marriage of Convenience. So I'm excited to do that just because, like I said, I loved Culty. It was so good. So I need to read more from Mariana Zapata and see what other books that I really like by her. Then the last one that I'm going to mention, there's probably a ton more books that just give me summer vibes that I want to get to this summer that I just don't really remember. But I've had my eye on Sinner by Simone for a while. I'm pretty sure this is part of this like Priest series. Her first book is Priest, and I read that a while ago and it was so good, so like steamy. So I want to get to Sinner and see how that goes, because Simone is writing another book in this series. I think it's called Saint, and it should be coming out in September, I think is what she has announced. She said she's kind of playing around with dates as of now, until she can like get her editing and see how long that takes. But I'm excited for this. So again, I don't know when my June TBR is coming out, if it's coming out before this video or after this video, but I am a sucker for a good taboo romance, especially like if it's like about priest or like student teacher, age gap, just any of those like super taboo. I love them. They are some of my favorite romances, probably because they are so taboo. I'm like, you know, I'm a realistic kind of person. I know if this happened in real life, I probably would be like, you know, you shouldn't be doing that. That's not okay. But I mean, books, it's fiction. It's made up and it's very entertaining and I love it. So I want to get to this one and continue reading more Simone because Simone's one of my like all-time favorite authors. I love her so much. So I thought this would be a cool, like, I need to have some Simone in my summer reading. So there you go. So that is my list of books that I would like to get to this summer, along with then my June TBR of other books that I'm going to be reading this summer, but those are just for June. Hopefully I get to those in June. If I don't get to any of the books that I'm reading in my June TBR, they will kind of go on to this list of books for the summer that I want to get to. But anyway, so I hope you liked this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me, more content from me. Leave a comment down below. What are some of the books that you're looking forward to reading this summer? Let me know so I can tell you if I've read them or add them to my TBR list. You know, let's talk about it. Anyway, so I hope you all have a good day and thanks for watching. Bye, guys.